This is the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek Wilderness, and it's the last one to get the Wilderness treatment. With more cladding than a stormtrooper, it's got more ground clearance, upgraded suspension, and all-terrain tires. And today I'm going to test it and see if it can tackle the dirt. So the Wilderness package gives you a plethora of upgrades, including these copper accents here, Crosstrek, and here as well as on the inside. You also get water-resistant seats and rubber mats as standard. So big changes on the outside. There are some taller springs fitted, giving you 0.67 inch higher ground clearance, takes it to 9.3 inches. That's more than a Jeep Compass Trailhawk and a Bronco Sport Badlands. The front approach angle is now up from 18 degrees to 20 degrees. The departure angle increases from 31 to 33 degrees, and the breakover angle increases from 19.7 to 21.1 degrees. At the front, you get an aluminum skid plate to protect vital components. What you don't get is a front-facing camera, as in the Outback and the Forest Wilderness. I think that's a bit of a miss. You get these 17-inch dark grey wheels wearing these Yokohama Geolanders. They are all-terrain tires, 225/60s all around. Subaru's also retuned the transmission for better off-road capability, and also the final drive ratio has been shortened for better off-roading. Towing capacity now increases its 3,500 pounds. So under the hood you get a 2.5 litre flat four. It's the only option. No turbocharged engines available here. It's got 182 horsepower, 178 foot-pounds of torque. It's driven through a CVT transmission, and it'll get you from 0 to 60 in around 8.1 seconds. And with a lighter right foot, you should get around 29 on the highway. At the front you get this fully blacked out grille and these copper accents either side, and then these are LEDs, and then these nifty little spotlights here in the bumper. At the back you've got an all black bumper with Subaru stamped into it and more copper accents either side, a big old Subaru Wilderness badge right here. In the back, manual lift gate, which gives you approximately 20 cubic feet here, a couple of little spots in the side for stuff, and then this waterproof mat as well. If you put these seats down, you get around 55 cubic feet of space. So how much is it? Well, base prices for the Wilderness start at $31,995. It's got the $2,000 package, which includes the Harman Kardon audio system, the 10-way power driver's seat, and a tilt and slide sunroof. Add destination, and you get around $35,500 out the door. So what you get in the back is pretty much utility. Great for dogs. You've got these wipe clean seats, 2 USBs, no vents. Seats are pretty decently comfortable, a little short maybe in the bottom cushion. Nice little armrest, couple of cup holders. Genuinely a quality little car. Only downside is the sloping roof, for the cool looks, does eat into headroom. And the child locks are on. Pretty nice in the front. Comfortable driver's seat. Obviously you get the 10-way power. Passenger, unfortunately, does not. And my pet peeve is they can't even give you a height adjustment, even if it's a manual crank style. More rubber mats in the front, nice steering wheel. Genuinely a really quite nice place to be. So inside the Crosstrek Wilderness, the interior is almost identical to other higher trim Crosstreks. The 11.6-inch multimedia system is slightly confusing with its various different menus and the fact that you have to press multiple buttons to go in to alter the climate control system. But all in all, it is backed up with some physical buttons, i.e. the temperature here you can change. And all in all, it's a pretty decent system. So like all Crosstreks, the Wilderness gets a version of a Subaru's X mode. It reprograms the transmission, the throttle, and torque distribution for various different types of terrain, which includes snow, dirt, normal mode, which we're in right now, and then deep snow or mud. So we will be taking this off-road later on. It's dry today, so we're going to go for a snow and dirt mode. Wireless charger right there, which charges through my case. This one gets heated seats, couple of decent cup holders. Under the armrest, you get a decent amount of storage space. Up front, there's like a 4x2 inch digital display. It'll show you various different pieces of information, including your average MPG. Mine isn't very good so far. Range, and a bunch of other stuff as well, tires, etc. These are flanked by your revs and your speed. Also, there's a digital speedo in the middle. These are analog, the middle is digital. So Subarus are typically known for their fairly compliant, softer suspension, and this one is absolutely no different. It rides really nicely, even on these Geolandar all-terrains. Now, having a slightly higher ride height and these tires does slightly compromise its on-road handling, and the steering feels a little bit more vague than on a standard Crosstrek or like the Impreza that we just tested. But having said that, you can get a decent move on in this car. What it does lack, unfortunately, though, is torque. Once the engine gets on the boil, it's not too bad. In fact, anything above sort of 4,000 RPM, and it actually does a decent job of getting a decent move on. But it's certainly not perfect, and having a turbocharged engine in it would be greatly appreciated by me. But that's not where Subaru sees its core audience for this particular car. So this is what we get. We'll have to take it or leave it. Sporty, it is not. And you do have to make minor adjustments to the steering even when you're going in a straight line, which is what we're doing right now. See, I took my hand off there for a second and started slightly weaving along. So what I'm looking forward to today is we'll get to a truck trail, we'll test it out, and then we'll, as I said, give it some more technical challenges on a more difficult off-road course that we're going to take it on. Now, Subaru has worked on the sort of noise vibration levels of this car, and it is an improvement over the earlier models. The engine does sound buzzy, but it's not as buzzy. It's a little kinder on the ears than the old one used to be. So I like the power seat, and I do like the Harman Kardon audio system, but as you know, I don't like sunroofs, and I wish you could order options, you know, one by one, which is exactly how they do it in Europe. They don't have these packages filled with stuff that you don't necessarily want. You basically check boxes of what you want. I'll take the audio system, I'll take the powered seat, I won't take the sunroof. And then you end up paying less money and you get the car that you want. So, into a couple of little twisty roads. When you do get on it in this car, you can feel it wants to understeer. You've got to sort of concentrate a little bit on the steering inputs. All right, hard on the brakes. Power. Yeah, really hard to get the traction control to come on because there just isn't enough power to be able to do that. Now, if you do happen to come across another vehicle in front of you that's going slower and you want to pass it, then that requires a certain level of pre-planning, or you're just not going to make it. So you need to know the road, and you need to hang back and gather some speed before you can make that passing maneuver. Alright, so we've hit the off-road section. So even on this sort of bouncy stuff, now we're on sort of dirt road here, so it's pretty compliant. Some of it's sort of washboardy, but the little Subaru is coping with it quite nicely. A few bumps. Now we're on a little mini rally course. There's a good little spot here to have a little bit of fun on. Doing a few figure of eights here. All right, let's continue along here. A little further here. So it gets a little bumpier on this section. So here we are at the off-road section, a little bit more technical. We're going to go up and down this little section right here, over the top, and a little bit more technical on the other side. Gets a little rocky here. Let's scrape at the bottom. Bit of wheel slip. Crosstrek powers up. Go, little Subaru. Hill descent control controlling the descent pretty well. Feet off the brake. Yeah, you're good. One wheel off the ground. You're good. Look at that thing go. Got the car doing that? Thought it was going to run me over. How clean. Straight. Straight. So what do we think? Well, what I like about the Crosstrek, and it is one of my favorite Subarus, even though I do drive a 2018 Outback with the 6-cylinder engine because I like more power, it's a plucky little go-anywhere car for a very reasonable price. It won't rock crawl like a Wrangler, and it won't jump the dunes like a Bronco, but you can have an awful lot of fun in it, and it's very, very good off-road. Once again, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time with another video.